Michigan and Wisconsin this Saturday is an interesting one for both teams. The Wolverines, top 15 in the country, just 4 games into the season. Raise your hand if you knew that was happening. Now put your hands down because none of you had that. When you look at Wisconsin, same thing. Raise your hand if you thought that they would be in this dire of a situation this early. Once again, hands down class. So Graham Mertz is not playing very well for the University of Wisconsin, and that is putting it lightly. I'm sure other fans, other people have other words to describe his play. He's tied for the Big Ten lead. Him and Michael Penix have thrown 6 interceptions in their games thus far, and he faces a Michigan defense that has only intercepted quarterbacks one time. This defense has just 1 interception in 4 games, but the other parts of the defense have been very well. Aiden Hutchinson is a guy to keep an eye on. He's been one of the better rush defensive ends in the Big Ten here this season, causing havoc in the backfield. That's going to be one key that I'm going to focus on when Wisconsin has the football. Can Michigan get pressure on the passer? If they can force Graham Mertz into anything in terms of him throwing the football more and shutting down that run game and forcing him to make mistakes in the passing game, Michigan's going to probably have a pretty good day because we've seen what Graham Mertz has done, and he can't throw accurately. He can't make good decisions. He'll fumble it away. His ball security, both when he throws it and when he's holding on to it, has been very subpar this season. So Michigan's game plan should be similar to Notre Dame. Shut down the run, contain the run, put a bunch of guys in the box, stop Ches Malusi from going over 100, and you should come out with the W. You should. Now let's flip over to when Michigan has the football. I honestly think Blake Corum is the best football player on the field. He's electric. He can make things happen. Big props to that Rutgers defense, though. Rutgers defense held him under 100 yards. Blake Corum's longest run in that game was 13 yards, and he's rattling off 50 and 67-yard runs in the 3 games before that. So we saw in that Rutgers game what happens when this Michigan team doesn't exactly play their best. If Rutgers had an offense late in that game in the 4th quarter that was able to do something and move the ball, I don't know if Michigan would have won that game, right? They're up, 20-3 at halftime. They should have closed that one out running away in the second half. They didn't have the killer instinct to put Rutgers away at that point, let them back into the game. So Michigan needs to hit big plays on this Wisconsin defense, and it's going to be hard to do it between the tackles. It's going to be hard to do it because Wisconsin is a great front 7. Shut down Notre Dame's run game last week. Penn State didn't win that first game. Although Penn State was able to hit big plays over the top of the passing game, the Nittany Lions didn't get much going in the running game in that matchup. So that has been Michigan's strengths this season. Running the ball with Hassan Haskins and Blake Corum. Cade McNamara hasn't had to throw the football a lot this season. Didn't throw a lot against Rutgers, and that's how Jim Harbaugh wants to play. Said it in a quirky quote a couple of weeks ago in his press conference. He says, this is how we want to win games. We want to win games by running the ball. It's just different ways of winning football games. I have a feeling in this game they might be pushed out of their comfort zone by that Wisconsin defense. The Michigan running game is going to be challenged. Not saying they aren't going to get it going, not saying they won't have a decent day. This is probably their biggest challenge in terms of facing a good run defense. So, can Cade McNamara push the ball down the field? We've seen him throw a couple of big plays, but hey, a lot of people are going to be able to throw big plays against Western Michigan, and they didn't need to run the ball, or I should say they didn't need to throw the ball against Washington because, they almost ran for 300 yards. They might have ran for over 300 yards in that game against the Washington Huskies. They don't have a really game breaker in terms of wide receiver. Dalen Baldwin finally got back onto the field this past week against Rutgers. Only caught the ball once for 7 yards. Cornelius Johnson is another. There's a few others that catch passes at a consistent rate, but none of them really are going to scare that Wisconsin defensive front, quite a bit. Wisconsin, can they stop the pass? Because they have the top rushing defense right now in the Big Ten. This is a defense that is a stone wall when it comes to the running game, and it's going to be very difficult for Michigan to do what they want to do, and what they want to do is pound the rock. I really like Michigan's defense in this matchup. They're only allowing 11.8 points per game. They're second in the Big Ten in scoring defense right now. I think Michigan's having a good day against that Wisconsin offense. I think a lot of the teams remaining on the Badger schedule are going to have a good time defending that Badger offense because Graham Mertz has not proven that he can be a good quarterback and make good decisions. One other key stat to keep in mind, Michigan's offensive line has been very good this season. I think that's a big reason for their success. Running the ball, and Cade McNamara has been a glorified game manager this season. I mean, he's made a few big plays with his arm, but all he's had to do is manage the game. That Michigan offensive line has only given up 1 sack this season. So, if they can't run the ball, and if that Wisconsin defensive front is as stout as they have been, look for the passing game. Michigan has done a really good job protecting Cade McNamara. Can Wisconsin get the pass rush to disturb Cade McNamara and that passing game? That's going to be the big question in this football game. I like Michigan personally in this matchup. I haven't seen anything from Wisconsin that proves to me that they aren't going to turn the football over, that they are going to do everything in their power to beat Michigan and to be disciplined on the offensive side of the football. I haven't seen it. I like what I see from Michigan. I think Michigan is going to be challenged against Wisconsin. This is going to be a game that's going to go down to the last possession in Madison at Camp Randall in that big noon kickoff slot. All I can really go off of is what I've seen. And I've seen Michigan play really good football. They were challenged against Rutgers. Now, given they didn't score in the second half, and that was a problem. They should have put Rutgers away. But when I look at Wisconsin and I look at the other side of the coin, I see a disaster. I see a dumpster fire on offense, to put it bluntly. I like Michigan in this matchup. I think it's going to be close, but they're going to make more plays on offense. They've got a better offense. You look at Wisconsin, right? They shut down, contained maybe is the better word, that Notre Dame offense for a majority of the game. And then when they got to the fourth quarter and Wisconsin's offense wasn't doing anything to help them, they just wore down, and they gave up a few offensive touchdowns late. And that might be the case. That might be a similar type of situation. And what Michigan might want to do is let's hang in it, be in it late. Maybe we can wear down their defense, hit a couple of big plays at the end of the game, and win the game, like Michigan in this one. What do you guys think? Do you think Wisconsin, is this the week Graham Mertz gets it together? Is this the week that he puts it all together and lives up to the expectations? Or is Michigan going to roll to a 5-0 record with a big win on the road in Madison? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. My name is Big Ten Ted. We will see you in the next one.